Hey guys, it's Katie. Thank you for checking out this video. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I have realized that I have a problem. Well, I have many problems, but one problem is that I buy makeup because I love it. I watch people on YouTube and I want to try these products out for myself, but then I get the products and I remember, oh, I'm not really wearing makeup lately, and this has gone on for far too long, and so I have accumulated enough products to do a full face of drugstore makeup that isn't new to the drugstore, but just that I've had in my collection, and I've swatched it and maybe played with it, but I've never actually worn it. They've just been sitting in my collection waiting for me to try it. So that's what I'm going to do today. And like I said, none of these I don't think are, none of them are new to the market. Maybe in the past year, some are probably older than that. So we're just going to get into it. So for the primer and the foundation, actually, it's by the brand CYO, which I know was sold, I think, at like Walgreens or Rite Aid or something like that, CVS, and the brand kind of went out earlier this year, and that's when I picked a bunch of their products up. But I think it was taken over by Soap and Glory, and I've heard that some of their foundation, I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty much the exact formula of the CYO one. And then I've heard that their Illuminating mixing cream and Turn on the Light is a dupe for the MAC strobe creams, and those look really nice, so I'm going to try that as my primer. Oh yeah, looks good. So I'm just going to put this mainly in the center of my face and kind of my cheekbones, where you would put like a highlight, but then I'm just gonna spread the rest of it out all over my face. And my face always gets embarrassingly red when I rub products on it, so it's fine, it'll go away. Then when I was buying the foundations, the one they had in stock that I thought would be near my skin color is the shade 103. So I think, I don't know if it starts at 100 or 101, but because I am a little tan, maybe this will work. I'm just going to kind of dot it on my face. And I'm going to take a little puff, poof, whatever, and blend it out. I've heard that Taylor Wynn, who is very popular on YouTube in the beauty world, that this is one of her favorite foundations. Okay, so a very light coverage layer. I am going to see if I can build it up just for the heck of it. I do like light coverage, especially right now in the summer, if I even wear foundation. But I am going to see if I can just get a little more. Yeah, this is very nice. It's very skin-like. I used 2 pumps and I love the coverage it gives. Not too matte, but it's not dewy either. It's just kind of like a natural, maybe satin finish with that primer underneath it. So far, those two are a thumbs up for a first impression anyway. And then the concealer I have that I've never used came out last year, maybe towards the latter half of the year, and it's the CoverGirl TruBlend Undercover Concealer. I've heard this is great coverage. I have the shade Light Nude L600. I have pretty dry under eyes, and I've heard this can be a tad drying compared to some, but not too much like the Tarte Shape Tape kind of is. I may have gotten too much, I don't know. I've never used it. I'm taking a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush and just trying to dab that in. This shade is probably a little light for me right now, but in any other season but summer, it'll probably work great. I do like the coverage. I usually have to use a corrector under my eyes before a concealer, like a peachy toned one. I love the Becca corrector, but I didn't have a drugstore one, and actually this covered up great. So far, yeah, a little bright, but so far, man, oh, I really like that. I'm 3 for 3 on products right now. Okay, and I do have a powder, but I also have a cream contour bronzer palette, so I'm going to do that first. And this is by CoverGirl. It is the TruBlend contour palette. So sorry, you can see the window in the reflection. So you have a contour shade, a bronzer shade, and then kind of a lighter, it says highlighter, but I'll try it as a highlighter, but I do have another one. So cream contours and blushes and all that are all the rage right now, so I thought it'd be a really perfect time to try this. So I'm going in with that middle contour shade, and I'm really just curious to see the pigment on this, if it's something that'll show up, if it'll blend well. Well, that's a lot warmer on the skin than it looks in the palette. Huh. Very, very different looking. Wow, yeah. I don't know if you can tell on camera. I mean, obviously I have to blend, but I feel like that does not look the same shade as this right here. Weird. I guess when you swatch it, it looks like, look, this swatch does not look like it correlates to this shade. Very deceiving. And then I am going to go ahead and use this bronzer shade down here. It has a little bit of a luminosity in it. Wow, this looks pretty orange as well. I'm feeling like, how can these pans translate to these swatches? I'm a little bit concerned that this is going to be too warm for my skin tone, but I'm going to try it out. I mean, the pigment is fine, the formula is fine, it does show up. I just think the colors, I thought this would be a great like neutral undertone cream palette, but it is a lot warmer. So my hair, I don't know if you've watched previous videos, but my hair is naturally dark brown, and I got put on a cancer medicine for my cancer treatments that takes all the pigment out of all your hair on your body. So my arm hair, leg hair, everything is stark white, like it's not even blonde. So then it started, I had a little bit of hair left from chemo before I started that. I got put on the medicine that took all the pigment out, and then now they switched me to a new medicine that doesn't mess with your hair. So the roots are dark brown again. So, and I'm just letting my hair grow out. Obviously, I was bald a few months ago. So I do not mind this bronzer color all over the face. I think it looks really good, especially in the summer when you want to look like you have that natural sun-kissed tan. And then I will go in with this highlight. I'm just going to take my finger. I don't know if you can see it on my hand. Again, a little bit deeper on the finger than it looks in the pan. But I'm just going to pat it. Maybe it'll give me that natural glow that I kind of am going for. Oh, it's okay, not a lot of glow. I mean, maybe you can see a little bit of a sheen. But I do have another cream highlight actually that we're going to put on top of this. Okay, so the first impression on this palette, it's okay. It's not terrible. I will probably use it, but just the colors are deceiving. So the color or the highlight I'm going to use is the Physicians Formula Dewy Highlighter. And it's a stick like this. This is in the shade, this is the lightest one. I don't know that it says on the package. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on the cheekbones and then blend it with my finger. Oh yeah, I like this one better. Oh yeah, I like this a lot for just that natural glow. I'm saying that like 6 million times, but that natural glow, like it doesn't look like you've taken a powder highlighter and like brushed a strip on your cheekbones or your nose or anything. It's like that natural like reflection almost. Like, oh, that girl's skin looks healthy. Now I'm finally going to go in with powder, and this is by Milani. It's the Prep+Set+Glow powder. So I love the IT Cosmetics pressed powder, like the Celebration Foundation Illuminating powder, something like that. I've heard this is kind of a dupe for it. So I don't like a powder that's going to mattify my face because I have kind of dry skin and I don't want to take away from like the natural glow and highlight that I just worked on putting on, but I do like to set the makeup in place. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and lightly dab it. And I am gonna kind of pinch it a bit and see if I can clean up this contour a little bit. That worked well. So yeah, this was fine. I don't know that I have like full thoughts on it yet, but I don't have any complaints. I don't know if you had oily skin, if something like this would be enough. If you have really oily skin, loose powders are kind of the safer way to go. Hey guys, it's Katie. Thank you first. So fine, not upset with that. And then the blush, I honestly had a different blush in mind, but then when I went to my little blush pile, this one, and I honestly don't even remember purchasing it. And it is the CoverGirl Cheekers blush, which I love the Cheekers blushes. My favorite blush of all time is the Cheekers blush in Plumberry Glow. But this is in Iced Cappuccino, and I usually go for pretty pink or rosy tones, and this is kind of a more nude. But now that I'm thinking of it, Emily Noel might have used this, and I thought it looked awesome on her. So I'm just gonna give it a try here. It is, let me swatch. So yeah, a little bit of a peachier nude. Oh wow, this looks better than I was anticipating. I mean, I think you can tell that I have blush on this side and not on this side. Oh, this is a shade I would have never picked up just by looking at it in the store. Okay, got a little much on this side, but I am not mad at it. Have a drugstore eye primer that I've never used. However, a really great one from the drugstore is the e.l.f. Shadow Lock Primer. I think it's $3, but I've used multiples of those. So I'm just going to take my CoverGirl concealer and use that as my eye primer. The way my skin looks right now. Shadow palette. So I have a story behind this palette. This, first off, it is by BH Cosmetics. It's called the Love in London palette. And the reason I bought it, well, the reason it caught my attention is because London, England is one of my favorite places on the planet. I did a study abroad program there when I was in college. But if I would have seen the inside of it and it would have been like totally not shades I would have used, I wouldn't have bought it. I'm not that frivolous. But London is the reason I even looked at it. But then I opened it and I was like, yep, I can vibe with that. You know, it's mostly neutrals, but a little bit deeper. It's pop of purple and blue and champagnes and rosy gold pinks. So I do want to keep the eyes just a little bit neutral because I have a couple fun lip colors picked out. First, going to start with this matte brown called Scone. And if you've ever been to London, the shade names are really fun. It's like Big Ben, Tea, Palace, Queen, Duchess, Piccadilly. I don't know if I said, I think this palette was $15. So really not bad for 16 shades, honestly. All over the center, I think I'm going to go for this shade called Prestige, kind of like a silvery taupe, just all over the lid. Another reason I was drawn into this palette was because it is pretty cool toned, and cool tones are my vibe. They always have been, even when warmer tones were the trend. I've just always gone more for cool. For the outer corners here, to deepen them up, I think I might just go for this black, but kind of light-handed. Maybe mix it in with, the black is called Posh, and I might mix it with this deep brown called Crumpet. A blending brush and blend that out. I'm going to take that deep brown Crumpet and just put it on my lower lash line, just lightly. Okay, so I am, well, a little bit smokier than I intended, but this is so my type of a look, like a kind of lightly smoky, neutral to cool toned smoky look. I am opened, I don't think, from the drugstore that I haven't used. First, I do have a brow product. It is by CoverGirl, the Easy Breezy Brow Gel in the shade Deep. And I'm just going to use that to comb through. This is the brush, very little, which I like. I'm just going to comb through. Whoa, this is dark. It's a very pigmented brow gel, but I like it so far. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and do some liner and mascara, and then I'll come back for the lips. Okay, so I am back for the lip color, and I have two, actually, lips were the category with the most amount of products that I've never used, which isn't surprising, but nonetheless. So I narrowed it down to two. It is the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine in the shade Lacquered Strawberry. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. And then I also have a liquid lip from Flower Beauty in the shade Melon Pop here. Both very bright. So this is the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine. This is the Melon Pop. Oh boy. You know what I'm just going to go for? I'm going to go for the very bright liquid lip. Oh wow. So I hope this is coming off as kind of pink as it is. And I don't know, it looks a little orange. But it's summer. Oh my god. I have something in my teeth. I hope that wasn't there the whole time. But this is the completed look of drugstore products I've never used. Like I said, nothing is new, Oh, I am going to end it with some setting spray, the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Mist. I just have the mini size. I've heard people really like this. So there weren't really any of these products that were a total fail. Honestly, the only thing that I didn't like really love is this CoverGirl palette, and only because the shades were different. If the shades would have come off true to color as they were in the palette, I think I would have loved it. But I'm very happy with these purchases, and I will use all of this again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to comment on an older drugstore product that you really love, please state that down below, because I love a good drugstore gem. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.